getting closer and closer to, the NBA playoffs, but also March Madness. I guess we should mention that. That's coming up real soon. It's the one time that I do get into college basketball, but I like it because I go in with no knowledge and I just get to start cheering for teams, if that makes sense.
No, it totally does. And I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie, so 2 years ago, I only play in one real big bracket pool. Shout out to my guy Alex Hyman. It's his brother's pool. We've been doing this since college, but
Yeah.
just there's like 200 people in it. So it's a big pool. 2 years ago, I won it. So it was like
Oh,
sweet. No, it was
yeah.
big. Justin, last year I was in first with 2 games left, and unfortunately Duke lose and knocked me out. If Duke had won the championship, I would have back to backed it, which would have been absolutely ridiculous. Because, like you said, for as much NBA as we obviously consume hosting an NBA podcast, I do not watch college basketball like that at all. Like I
Yeah.
have watched probably 0 minutes of college basketball this year. So it is. It's truly when I pick my bracket, it's starting fresh. It's reading. It's doing a little math, if you will. Like that's kind of,
hmm
and I got to be honest, it's worked. So I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, it looks like it's 10 days is when the first four round will start, March 17th and 18th, and then we will go from there. So, yeah, man, I'm excited for it. I am weirdly surprised. Usually my group of guys, like I'll only do really one March Madness bracket as well. But I'm kind of surprised TJ and them haven't texted me about it yet, because I'm like a lock to just be free money at that point. I have never won this thing once, so they might as well keep hitting me up. But yeah, man, it'll be obviously some fun March Madness going on. And to that, it wasn't March Madness, but it was Vegas Madness. I was out in Vegas last week and got a
Yeah,
little.
wait, we got to talk about it. Justin, what did you know and when did you know it? So, right, Justin goes to Vegas last week, and shout out to our guy Joe Pantorno for coming on last episode and
hmm
talking East with me. Obviously, Justin is here. He's back from
Yeah,
Vegas in one
yeah.
piece, so that's good to see. But before we left, if you remember, Justin said he was going to go to Vegas and he was just going to put some money on, like, what, $50 on a team to win the championship this year, just like kind of pick a
You
contender.
mean you, me, and Carlton kind of talked it through. And like, I remember in the conversation of the podcast, go back 2 episodes and listen to it. We talked about, OKC, Denver, I think San Antonio were like the top 3-ish teams, probably Pistons in there as well.
One of them might not be so much. We're going to talk
Yeah.
about one of them later.
Right,
But
right. But I would say those are probably the top 4 teams in terms of betting odds to get there. But
yeah,
the big conversation, or I think it was either my Ballin or Fallin, was that Jayson Tatum was like ramping up the work. And obviously Boston being number 2 in the East with the record they have without him, I was kind of like, guys, as much as it sucks to say as a Phillies Sixers fan, like, dude, Boston's odds might be worth putting money on because Tatum's not back. And if he does come back, like, bro, they're going to have a real legit shot at this. And I remember because I wrote it down because I knew we were going to talk about it. The odds when we said that were at 1,000 or plus 1,100 or plus 1,100. And when I went out there, they were still 1,100. So I put 50 on it. I can win 550 if it happens. And then obviously the Jayson Tatum plays the other night, drops 15 and in a not fully ramped back up, minutes. And I was kind of like, oh, I'm
12
feeling
boards
good.
too. 12 boards, 7 assists. Like
Yeah,
it
I'm like,
was.
oh, I'm feeling good now.
No, it was effortless, and like that was one of the things that Joe and I talked about was the only worry you would have integrating Tatum back in would be because they played so well and have played so well this season in his absence, when I think a lot of people didn't expect them to necessarily. What does that look like? Like that team has had a clear identity with Jaylen
Does he
Brown as
throw
the
it
number
off?
one and going, through this season
Yep.
so far. Like introducing a player of Tatum's caliber is certainly like there is a little bit of an adjustment, a wrinkle to that, but also, the counterpoint to that, which we talked about, is that Jayson Tatum is one of the best players in the league. They've already won a championship together. Like it's probably not as hard of an adjustment as one would
Yep.
think. And yeah, like, look, I'm not, again, we got to see Tatum start to ramp up here. Again, only 10 months post Achilles surgery. So like, he's not just going to come out and play playoff minutes right away. And I think that would only be the only slight concern too, is just, there's maybe 20 games left in the regular season. Like there's not going to be a huge on-ramp before he has to play meaningful basketball.
Right.
And the way the Eastern Conference is set this year, like you're going to be playing a
Mm-hmm.
good team probably by the second round. Like if maybe, and shoot, the way Charlotte is playing, Charlotte leaks out of the play-in, like you might have some time with them first round as well. So
The
but
other,
I'm not concerned about that. Like, yeah, Boston,
yeah,
given how tight the East is right now, I'm not just going to say, hey, they're runaway favorites. But yeah, this does feel like in a year that feels open, it doesn't feel like there is a runaway favorite in the league right now. Like, Boston's right there. They totally could win the championship this year.
the other thing that's worth mentioning, and this was part of it, right, is they went and got Vooch before the trade deadline.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's another one that I don't think people are like talking about enough as like a low key gonna be good for them move. He's only had 12 games for Boston. Now the news has come out he's gonna be out for 4 weeks. He got injured, but in those 12 games, they were a plus 5.8 with him on off, percentage wise, which I just looked up. He's only been higher than that twice in his career, both of which were with Orlando in 2019, 2018, and 2019 when he made the All-Star game, I believe. And that was a plus 8.3. So, like, early returns, at least on the percentage wise of things, is like he was having a lot of impact too. So, to your talk of like the identity and stuff, they've only had 12 games with Vooch, really, to figure out what they look like with him as well. So, yes, now he's out for 4 weeks. You get Jayson Tatum back and you start figuring out, but now Vooch will be back in, 4 weeks as well. It's like you still might be running out of time to figure out what this new identity looks like. Now, I have faith that they'll figure it out. And clearly because I put money on them, but also that might have been alcohol fueled. But either way, here we are.
You were so were you banged up on the podcast, or you can't blame the alcohol on Vegas for that? Like you were saying that sober on the podcast.
I know.
Like,
It was a sober thought that turned into drunk action in Vegas.
Okay. I was gonna say, I'm like you can't blame the booze for that bet.
No.
No, I'm interested to see what they. I mean, they've, now with Vooch out, they're going to rely on Kata and they're going to rely on Luke Garza. Now, Kata's been really good this year. He's been one of the breakout stars for them. So I'm like, maybe he can shine in more increased minutes. But right, like that, they're a little more unproven. Like Vooch is a 15-year vet at this point. Right. One of the big reasons I liked picking him up is it reminds me of the way, like, he's just a smart player. The way that Al Horford was for them, where he just like, he reads the game well, he makes the right decisions. Yeah. That's going to be missing. And right, like with only a limited size there, like I think he'll be fine. I don't know. We'll see if they go get anybody. I mean, I'm already seeing all over the Celtics Twitter, it feels like that they want to get their guy Daniel Tice back, who's out there as a free agent right now. Maybe it's like a short-term body. I don't know. Again, I'm not super worried about this long term. It's a month. It's not ideal, but as long as it doesn't affect the playoffs, I think that's all you need to be worried about here.
Yep. Yeah. Vooch in those 12 games, for anybody wondering, 10 and a half points, 7.5 rebounds, about 21 minutes per game. But again, to the bigger point, I think, is the chemistry between everybody trying to figure out what it looks like. But I think I'm feeling pretty good about the betting odds and how much return I potentially would get on that $50.
Yeah, I mean, well, right. The value is there no matter what. It's still early enough too with championship seasons. And again, because there's not there's just not that guaranteed winner this year. There's not that clear favorite. There's a lot of teams who I feel good about, but you can talk me into probably.
So are you officially out on the like Thunder just going to run it back kind of vibe?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Thunder still could very well win the title this year. Like, I'm not fully out on the Thunder. I don't want to act like I'm jumping off the cliff. I mean, they've been in first place the whole season. But, yeah, I mean, them morphing into this, like, 73-9 juggernaut has obviously, like, gone a long way down. Yep. They're a little banged. Again, we're going to talk Weston a little bit after the break. But, I mean, just real quick for the Thunder, like, my biggest worries with them right now are health. Like, Hartenstein is dealing with injuries. Caruso's dealing with injuries. Jalen Williams has been dealing with injuries all year. So there's definitely a little bit of that comes into play, but I mean, they're going to most likely have home court. We'll see how they match up with San Antonio, but they're probably not going to have to worry about that until the conference finals at the minimum. So, no, I still feel good about OKC. I'm not selling all my stock there, though. It's more of me buying stock in some of these other teams that look ready to compete with them, and that we're gonna, talk about in the Western Conference, and then we talk about a little bit in the East too, like the East being this deep, where it has, at the beginning of the year, we talked about like the Knicks were the maybe only team where we're like, hey, we feel good about them, and even the Knicks have their flaws. Now, you've got four at the bare minimum.
Yeah, and I think I agree with you in terms of it's just kind of the door, or I guess we could say earlier on in the season, maybe the crack of the door has opened a lot more to maybe easier conversations of, to your point, probably 4, maybe 5, 6 at most teams that have legitimate arguments to land this ship and really win the whole thing this year.
Yeah, it should be a fun playoffs no matter what. And I mean, we got about a month-ish to go. So as you said, ramping up is the theme of the show here on the Drive and Dish NBA podcast. Welcome, everybody. My name is Kevin Rafuse. Joining me as always, my co-host, Justin Cousart.
In the I'm pulling it up, the 2010-2011 season, the top defensive team was the Chicago Bulls, which only allowed 91.3 points per game, which actually seems like significantly low. And the highest scoring team, which was actually the Denver Nuggets, had 107.5 points per game. They had Carmelo Anthony for a good portion of that season. That's the Denver Knicks trade season, I believe.
Yeah.
And he was the highest scoring, or the third highest scoring player, with 25.6 points per game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, again, even going back, though, it's only 15 years ago. It's certainly a radically different game in terms of the three-point evolution.
I was going to say, I was trying to pull up what the teams, I don't think it's going to pull up fast enough for me, but I was trying to see where teams were in terms of like who's the best defensive team right now, what's the points they're allowing per game. But NBA.com's stat stuff is like glitching out.
Oh, you want opponents' points per game right now? The best, the lowest is, I think it's Boston, actually. Yeah, but it is Boston. Boston's at 107. They're just a tick below OKC.
But 107's crazy compared to 15 years ago, which was 107 was the highest scoring team. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
Boston's at 107, OKC's at 107.8, and then Houston is 3 at 109.3. Wow. Detroit's at 4. 5 is the Knicks.
That's crazy. That's wild. Yep. It's wild how much it's changed. Obviously, it's become much more of an offensive league, which makes sense. But
points per game right now, you know what? Could you guess? Or there's just Denver is 1 at 120.2. Do you know who number 2 is right now?
Offensive?
Yeah, offensive. You're never getting this.
My guess would be, can I give you 3 teams and see if I'm anywhere close?
Yeah.
Okay. You said number 1's Nuggets?
Nuggets are number 1.
All right. Well, I'll just go. My first 2, I'll guess Pistons, OKC, since there's the top 2 teams. And then my third, I'm between the, you said I'm never going to guess it. So part of me thinks it's like the Hornets or something. But no, let me go Knicks and or Boston.
No, it's not bad guess. Your best guess was OKC. OKC is 4th right now at 118.9. Dude, the second highest points per game team in the league right now is Miami. Miami's at 120.1.
Wow.
And Miami has won 4 in a row, to be fair, going into this podcast. 7-3 in their last 10. They're quietly maybe getting out of the play-in game. Miami, right now, top 5 points per game is Denver. Miami is 2. Cleveland is 3. Minnesota's 4. And OKC is 5.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
I mean, they're pretty close. Like a lot of teams, Charlotte is in the top 6 in the Eastern Conference right now. They've really moved up. And Charlotte's lineups they're starting 5 when it's been on the floor of Bridges, Knepel, Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball, and I forgive me, I'm blanking on the other one right now. But that starting lineup has been unbelievable.
I was gonna say the con memes that have been going around are pretty funny. I've been enjoying those.
Musa. They've been one of the fun teams to watch. I mean, they're
would you give him
right now.
Would you give him Rookie of the Year over Coop?
I think so. They're winning. Like they're both playing great. Like there have been 3 rookies that you have been the instant impact guys in terms of Rookie of the Year this year, and it's been Con Knipple, it's been Cooper Flagg, and it's been VJ Edgecombe. Like they're all just ballers, all 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
The way Charlotte's coming on, I mean, I gotta lean Con here a little bit. Like I still think Cooper has the biggest or the best long-term upside. Right. I'm not about to back off him being a franchise superstar guy. Like obviously Dallas has a lot to be excited about there, but give Con credit, man. Con's come out and lit the league on fire, obviously breaking those 3-point records early. I'm leaning him right now.
Sure. I get it. I would say yes to Con being the favorite right now, but I guess my point is if you take it in the stats, like Cooper still has him in all like the more important categories, if that makes sense, in terms of points per game, rebounds, assists, steals. Like Cooper still has it. I think Con's like a more like I would be interested to see like the last 20 games and what the stats would look like a little bit more. I feel like the Con stuff's really ramped up like post All-Star. It was happening before it, but like post All-Star is really where it like took off even more.
The Hornets are your national attention now. Like they just weren't before. I mean, the Hornets until 3 weeks ago, nobody was watching them. They were winning real under the radar. There's nothing under the radar about the Hornets now. And I swear that's not just because LaMelo crashed his car.
I thought you were about to joke about that.
Listen, LaMelo with what LaMelo's driving, he's never under the radar. Like not just forget the bad driving. It's the fact that every one of those vehicles is just super loud. I mean, that Hummer paint had like a custom camo paint job or anything like that. I do think LaMelo should get a driver, please, or something like that. It's getting a little out of hand, but no, I mean, dude, Charlotte's buzzing. Like, no pun intended. They're a good place to be, right? Which is good. I'm glad for Charlotte. I am relieved for Charlotte fans that we are talking about them in a positive light. It has not been a long time since we've done that.
No, but like between them and what the Panthers did too, like you got some exciting stuff going on in the Charlotte area, and then you're close enough to
you're leaving out the. Oh, okay. I was like, you're leaving out the best team in the Carolinas. I was like, the Hurricanes are the best team in the Carolinas right now.
I would be genuinely curious. Does Carolina root for them? Because like that's Raleigh, right?
What other hockey team are they rooting for?
I don't know, but honestly, I'm
not whole state. Technically 2 states.
I understand, but like I don't know. Is it more
Charlotte
like
and Raleigh are nowhere near each other. I mean, they are in the grand scheme of things, but like they're still different entire metro areas. Like it's not like
they're close enough, but it's like is Charlotte more of like, for a hockey perspective, like a melting pot, like of just whatever team you liked before you moved there kind of deal?
They're insane if they're not rooting for the Hurricanes. The Canes have been good. The Canes have won a cup. The Canes won a cup in 2006. They had that weird stat line where it's like, I think they're like 0-15 in their last Eastern Conference Finals games, which is insane because to be good enough to make the conference finals every year, but then you can't even get one game. Like, how does that keep happening?
It's interesting because Nicole's whole family's from there, so they're all Canes fans. I've been to a few, like I've been to a good amount of Canes games now, but right around playoff time, they usually get a little grumpy because Canes can't seem to really like rise to the occasion in that moment.
It's just so bizarre because again, like, they win the first 2 rounds. It's not like they just flame out every year in the playoffs. Like there is something to be said about making the conference finals every year. But like, how can you not even steal one of those games? Like that's just even more remarkable. Like losing 3 conference finals is not remarkable in a row. I mean, listen, I grew up in Eagles. I obviously still am, but like I grew up watching the Eagles losing the NFC Championship game every year in the 2000s. Like, but that was 1. We have a best out of 7.
Yeah. No, I know. It's like you can't even get one of those. Oh, I guess what it'd be 4 or 5 at that point. But like, it's like, just bizarre. So either way, that's why I was just curious about the Canes for a Charlotte perspective. Like, I don't know if they are, you know what I mean? Like Jacksonville's close. Jacksonville's close to Orlando, but I don't feel like anybody here's really.
They snapped it, dude. They snapped it last year. I'm a clown. I've been ragging on the Hurricanes for that. Yeah, sorry, not to interrupt you. They had a 15-game ECF losing streak. On May 26th last year, they beat the Panthers in Game 4, 3-0.
I should have known that because I definitely watched that game with Nicole.
Yeah, that's the only one because they get swept. 2009 against the Penguins, they were swept. 2019 against the Bruins, they were swept. In 2023 against the Panthers, they were swept. And then they lost the first 3 games of their next series against the Panthers.
Well, and I guess my point to the Charlotte thing with the Hurricanes is like, I don't know the distance from Charlotte to Raleigh.
Let's find out.
But if it's 2 hours, Jacksonville to Orlando is very similar, and I don't feel like people here are Orlando Magic fans.
I would also counter by saying the Magic don't have Florida in their name.
That's fair.
I know that's like a very arbitrary argument.
No, I know what you mean. I get what you're saying.
Raleigh and Charlotte are 2.5 hours away right now, and there's no traffic, so it's not even me like. Yeah.
I knew it was a good bit. I knew it was about a 2-hour drive, but
a lot of road work on I-40 right now. Just a heads up if you're headed that way.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. 40 is like 95. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I do. Unfortunately, all too well.
40 is like 95, and then all next week, US 1 in Jacksonville will be like 95 and 40 in terms of people trying to drive to TPC Sawgrass because oh my God.
Yeah,
that is the worst. That is the worst situation.
I remember the traffic department getting staffed with extra bodies back in the day. No doubt about it.
And it'll blow your mind. We don't do that anymore, which is crazy to me.
Justin, you were trying to get actually, this is your ledge. Go ahead, step out on it. Why is it crazy?
Well, you would think one of the busiest weekends traffic-wise for Jacksonville, you would want to ramp things up. But
I would think that, Justin. I feel like that's a good idea to serve your community.
Yes, but I guess the counter is the problem with that traffic.
It brings a lot of ears to the radio stations too, right?
Well, yes. The other problem is the problem is the staffing would be the main issue. My counter to, and this is probably like the manager in me now, so you can just shoot me down if you need to. The counter is the traffic's the traffic, and I guess my point is it's A1A. There's no alternate route. Like, you know what I mean? There's literally no other option. So the traffic is there, and you got to deal with it.
There's only one other, and it's the only other way, and because we left it one time we were doing it, is you got to go down. You got to go down to like Nocatee, and
but that's my point. It's either go north on A1A or go south on A1A, and like. So I'm not hating on the traffic department, but it's like
there's like one lone back road. It's crazy. There's one road that you maybe can get around it, and there's
you can only get halfway. You can only get halfway on that road. So like, my counter to us not staffing is there's not really any help you can provide other than just say, yeah, you're going to be in it. You know, like. So I guess that's my counter.
Whatever, man.
Not a good counter.
You gotta serve the community and keep them entertained.
I agree, but like to serve the community, I could literally record a thing right now being like, yeah, there's traffic on 95 on US 1 A1A South, about 45 minutes to get to TBC Sawgrass if you're going south. It's about 30 if you're going north, and I could probably run that all weekend and it would be true.
I mean, that was pretty good. Maybe you should. Who knows? Crazy things happen.
And then do like this traffic report sponsored to you by Big Dog Law, whatever.
Oh, Rhino Shield or whatever. Dude, I used to say it was sponsored by Rhino Shield all the time.
I don't even care. I'll give them the plug. There's this new law firm in town that's running commercials. Top Dog Law. Bro.
Oh, just Top Dog is not. They're everywhere now. Those Top Dog things are.
But he hasn't been in Jacksonville until like very recently. And dude, those commercials are amazing. Oh my God.
They're just outright. Well, you know who does them, right?
No.
The Philly Power 99 guy.
Is that
the
him?
Club Onyx guy. I forget his name. Dude, the Washington Post just did a write-up on him, which if you know me, if you grew up in Philadelphia listening to those commercials, like you know how much this man once said he did an ad for Philly Auto Car Kings or whatever. They sell used cars and stuff. Justin, I swear to God, that man said, if we can't approve you, God couldn't approve you.
I remember that, yeah.
It's incredible. Like I love it. It's entertaining.
Dude, I'll one day when like off season time, we'll have to dive into it. But he's like, the one they're running now, which like our whole station, like all the on air people for WAPE, when it came on, we all stopped and we're like, what is happening right now? It was like, he's like, you got your girl's car, you got in a crash, now you're in the hospital and she's calling you and you're not picking up. She thinks you're cheating. You won't text her back. Call the dog. It's like, bro, what? And it's got this like dramatic, tense music behind it.
No, I know.
You're like, bro, what is going on here?
Oh my God.
Oh yes, it's magical.
As a Rutgers law grad, I would be remiss to say that on top of all that, he is a Rutgers law grad as well.
Who is Top Dog?
Yeah, the guy who's hot. His real name is James, I think.
Oh my God. Well, they are very new to the air. Literally, like the commercial started like 3 weeks ago, and like Dex and I are like, bro, these are great. I'm telling you, they've been on in Philly for a while. Yeah. But they're national. Yeah, they're everywhere. They're blitzing the advertising market. Good.
Yeah, I don't think they can advertise on this podcast. That might be a little bit of a conflict with interest to me, just to say the least.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, the marketing department is absolutely, like I said, voice acting out of control too.
That's what I was gonna say. I didn't realize that was the guy from Power in Philly. That's amazing. Okay.
You know why this is a great podcast? I was worried about us not having stuff as much to talk about today, and we have spent 30 minutes talking about nothing of the main topic. Like, where else could you get that? I don't even think we did the plug yet. Leave us a review on iTunes, good or bad. We'll read them on the show. If you're not an Apple user, Spreaker, Spotify, TuneIn, Amazon Music, Player FM, anywhere you can find a podcast, you can find us.
People might use that against us and be like, guys, I tried to listen because I wanted to hear about like the Celtics, and the first 30 minutes was about some law firm that's
I got some Tatum stuff. We're fine.
Running advertising. Like, what are you guys talking about? But we are on YouTube. If you want to watch us on video, do that. YouTube.com. Just search Driving Dish NBA. You can subscribe and you'll get notifications when new episodes are coming out, just like you can with your podcast episodes.
Now, word from our sponsors.
So I kind of titled this part of the episode, "The State of the Key NBA Teams Right Now," kind of more towards the West, because there seems to be a lot going on with a lot of the teams at the top when you look at the West, which for anybody wondering is Thunder, Spurs, Timberwolves, Rockets, Nuggets, Lakers. That's your top six. I stopped there because after that, I feel, and maybe this is some hating on the Sun side of things, I feel like none of those teams are necessarily quote unquote relevant in terms of what we'll see in the playoff run.
I don't see them as contenders. Like, I don't want to say they're not relevant. Right. They're good teams. I mean, the Suns have been one of the biggest they've been one of the success stories of the year, honestly. I think everybody expected them to fall off a cliff. I just don't expect Phoenix to win the title either.
And Phoenix has been hit with a lot of injury and other stuff going on, which we'll talk about. But like, for that, I guess some people will be like, you're really just you're slighting the Warriors a little bit, but it's like same kind of thing. It's like, bro,
no, we're not slighting the Warriors. The Warriors lost Jimmy. What are we talking about? The Warriors were going to win as soon as they lost Jimmy.
I don't even think they were going to win with Jimmy. So there you go.
Yeah, or at least as a world.
I get it. So so really we're going to take a little bit of a dive on the Thunder, Spurs, Timberwolves, maybe less Rockets, because I know we didn't really mention them. They're not in terms of, I guess, the news that's going around in the NBA right now, a part of it as much.
We're just taking stock. We want to see who we kind of believe here, who we're starting to believe in.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, we're not going to go deeper into Houston, but I will say the defensive rating we talked about a little bit earlier has obviously been really good. Yeah. Houston, it feels like every time they've turned a corner that they just kind of take a step back. And so I'm a little worried about that.
Sure.
I want to see them have some consistency there, but I mean, they're going to be around. Like, I could definitely see them winning. I feel good about them winning a first-round series, I guess.
If you had to pick a team out of this list that's not the Thunder to win this year, who is it?
It's either San Antonio or Minnesota. I think Minnesota is really coming together at the right time. I think we talk about depth more than anything, and that's kind of been the theme of the NBA the past few years. It's you have a star and you have depth. Obviously, Minnesota has a bona fide superstar in Anthony Edwards. I just like their roster is clicking. I like, between Randall, between DiVincenzo, between Reed, between Gobert, between McDaniels, like they just have their numbers are good when they're all on the floor together. And it really feels like in this second half in particular, they've started to, turn it on a little bit. And they've been here before. Like, I think there's a little bit of, hey, they've been to multiple conference finals, this unit has. Like, they know how to play playoff basketball. I think that matters too. That would be my, hold up if I have one with San Antonio, is that this group, other than De'Aaron Fox that year with the Kings, has not largely been in any meaningful games like that, but they've been winning meaningful games all year. Like, I think, Wemby may be trying to brush it off in the press conference to say they're not true finals contenders, but like, yeah, they are. They very much like it's hard not to look at the San Antonio team and say, no, they got a real shot to win the title.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. They have a 7 net rating, high defensive rating, high offensive rating, and surprisingly, it's very close. Both categories, better, but very close to Minnesota Timberwolves. Like, I feel like the teams are similar in that aspect. It's more of like, it may be less for the Timberwolves, definitely for the Spurs, just because of how young they are. It's like, what kind of pressure when they get into the playoff situation will they respond to? Will they be able to respond, or will the younger guys kind of, you know what I mean? You know how it goes. So
the slept-on move we talked about a little bit with Minnesota too, to jump back to them, was the Ayu Dosunmu move. Like, he was always good in Chicago, and I thought one of their bigger losses this offseason was Nickeil Alexander-Walker, like that 3-and-D guy, a guy who can crash the boards a little bit, like going out and getting to Somnu. I feel like that was it's one of those, it doesn't jump off the page as the sexiest trade out there, but it's that type of trade that come playoff time, we may be looking back at and going, that was a good one. Like, that really shored things up. He feels like a 16-game player.
It's also worth mentioning, I know we mentioned the Rockets. They're the second highest turnover team in terms of percentage. So, ball security on their end, I would maybe lean in on a little bit. Because like I said, the teams around them, it's like the Blazers are the number one team for turnovers. Then you got the Nets, the Hornets, the Golden State Warriors, Clippers, Wizards, Jazz. Then you get Pistons, another team that I would say is probably like a top playoff team.
Definitely.
So you're that's 8 teams in at that point before you find a team that's a contender again. So from a Rockets standpoint, it might need to button that up a little bit. So where do you feel about the Lakers? Because I know that's another one that like kind of I've already written off a little bit, but it might be because of the drama.
Yeah, I've written off the Lakers a little bit too. Like, they're a good basketball team. They just, it doesn't feel like they have the depth, especially a wing, especially at center. I feel like DeAndre Ayton is going to get exposed again come playoff time.
Is it weird that we're still, for the Lakers, like, it feels like it's supposed to be Luka's team now, but we're still here talking about LeBron's health.
Yeah.
Like, is he going to be good enough to play? It's like, well, aren't we at a point where like it should still be a conversation, but maybe not as much matter? And I know that's weird to say about LeBron, but it felt like we're finally starting to actually take that turn.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few things right now. Like, LeBron has not had his best season. It's the first time he's looked a little mortal, and LeBron James is making a ton of money. And so I think at that point, it was the first time where you go, yeah, LeBron's making $50+ million a year. Like, we need him to be a little better here. Luka still is not super great defensively and does a lot of complaining to the officials. Like, Luka's brilliant. He dropped 40+ last night either. Like, Luka's still Luka. But that hasn't gone down as much as you would like. And we saw the with him and JJ Redick the other night, with them going a little bit back and forth. Their depth isn't as high, like I said. Ayton's been meh, Marcus Smart real meh. They don't feel as good as the other teams in the West do. And that's just what it comes down. And it feels like every time they play a meaningful game, they play against a good team, they just kind of get crushed. And that's kind of what it comes down to for me. Like, I need to see them beat a team with something important on the line, and I just haven't seen that yet. I mean, the other thing too, just from Austin Reeves has struggled. He's really, like, obviously had such a brilliant start to the year. But he really hasn't been that great. I mean, he's only averaging 13.5 points in the first two games, or, in March, shooting like 30% from behind the arc. Again, it's a small sample size, but at the beginning of the year, he's averaging 32 points in October. Like it's definitely dipped as we've gone on earlier in the season. In February, for some perspective, he was just at 19.4, according to Sporting News. So, there's been a little bit of a drop off there. They haven't had that punch.
Is there any, I know, and we haven't really, I guess, is there anybody we're leaving off that we haven't talked about, in your opinion, that we should put on this list? I feel like, at least from a Western side of things, we've covered everybody. I know we haven't really mentioned Nuggets too much yet, but like, I don't think we're missing anybody, if that makes sense. I feel like at this point, our list of Thunder, Spurs, Timberwolves, Rockets, Nuggets, and then in the East, you go Pistons, Celtics, Knicks. That's your 8. One of those 8 will win.
The Nuggets were the last team I kind of wanted to talk about. Like that's the team that I'm a little alarmed. Like I mean, they've dealt with injuries all year, but Jokic is back and they haven't really gotten much better. Like they're still great offensively, but he definitely, post injury looks a step slower on defense. And they're only 6-8 since he's come back. Like they just got crushed by New York the other night, which we're going to talk about in Ballin and Fallin. The defense is 21st ranked overall. And again, like, we mentioned Jamal Murray tweaked his ankle again. That doesn't look like it's going to be too bad, but they've dealt with a lot of injuries. Like Aaron Gordon has missed significant amounts of time this season. Obviously, we just mentioned Jokic has missed time for the first time in a while. Like, the optimist in us goes, hey, everybody's going to get healthy. We'll be able to ramp this up. And then we've looked good when we've all been on the floor together. I was a big believer in this roster. I feel like they did a good job of retooling it. Valanciunas has missed time. Cam Johnson has missed time. You get all those guys back. I mean, even for some perspective, like Aaron Gordon, Jokic, Braun, Johnson, and Murray, or Brown, excuse me. They've only played 10 games this season. Entirely. Shout out to Michael Pena for that stat. But like that lack of consistency has really hurt them a bit. And they're just, defensively as well. I think that hurt, like missing Valanciunas. We talked about that when he went down right when Jokic did. Like that does leave them with a little bit more of a lack of size in the post Michael Porter Jr. era that they're just not going to really be able to recreate this season. So, again, they still employ Jokic, but at some point, I do think it's kind of fair to wonder, like, hey, is this team going to flip the switch here a little bit? Like, I'm not worried about them falling out of play-in position, but, again, I compare them to Minnesota, whereas Minnesota, it feels like it's turning the corner and getting ready for playoffs. Like, there's some very fair and valid questions about this Denver team going into the playoffs this year.
Yeah, Jokic, since coming back, is about 30% from 3. 23 for 76. And two that has had, you talked about the loss against the Knicks as of, what was that, last night for us. He was 1-7. And then the last time they played the Knicks, which would have been all the way back at the beginning of February, they took it to overtime, but he was 1 for 13 in terms of 3-point percentage. And then you see his, next game against, or 2 games later against Cleveland, 0% from 3. He only took 2 of them. And then you got OKC where he went 2 for 10 from 3. And then you got the Knicks again and actually Minnesota. Let's put Minnesota in that. He went 1 for 4. And then the Knicks. And I'm saying that to point out, like, up against good teams since he's come back, we've only seen him shoot a good 3-point percentage against one of them. In terms of, there was one game against OKC where he shot 2 threes, he made 1. It was 50%, or 50%. But everybody else, that's a team we've deemed as probably going to be in the playoffs and someone they could potentially go up against in the finals or in the conference finals. Like the 3-point percentage for Jokic kind of goes away. And so maybe teams have figured that part of it out a little bit, or at least the good teams have figured it out. Could be. But again, to your point, it's been, I think he's been back for 16 games now, if I'm doing my math right. So Still some time to figure it out, but to that, Denver's offense runs through Jokic. It will live and die by Jokic, and so they kind of need him to figure himself out a little bit.
Well, yeah. And, part of it hopefully will be as he eases back in. And there's also the worry, again, maybe this is putting the tinfoil hat on a little bit, but like Jokic returned a little bit to make sure that he can stay under that 60 or, meet that 65 game threshold, like with the MVP voting. I feel like it goes without saying what a fourth MVP would do for Jokic's already incredible legacy.
Yeah.
Maybe that factors in a little bit. You worry about that though, like that because he did right. If he's not 100%, like what are we talking about? That Denver team's not going anywhere fast.
Right.
But either way, that's one to keep an eye on. And again, me, I've been a pretty big like Denver believer this season. This is not fun to say for me. My stock in Denver, like we're running out of supplies on Jokic Island here a little bit right now. I don't know if the chopper's going to make it this season, but
be careful with islands, man.
I might have to get it back to Minnesota or something like that. I don't know. I don't want to get it back to Boston. I can't do that.
No, don't be yeah. You gotta be careful with islands too, by the way, these days. Sorry, just had to make sure, we put that out there. You gotta be careful with that stuff, Maybe it's
listen, I don't want to be in any reports, man.
Yeah, it might be like the Jokic wagon or something. Maybe
I got no business there at any islands like that. We
Jokic Mountain. We're on a mountain now. We don't go to islands anymore or something. I don't know.
Chateau Jokic. Oh my God! All right, who's falling? Our NBA version of the stock market. We probably should have talked about the Spurs more, but like whatever, they're great. We'll talk about them.
Spurs are awesome. Yeah.
They got a good shot to win the finals. Like I'll give you your deep dive as we get closer.
Yeah. I think the Spurs is real easy. It's let's see how the young team handles the playoff pressure. That's what we say about every new team. That's kind of that new one in the mix. That's what they are now. So that's where we need to see them. Now, if they come out in those first 2, maybe 3 rounds, like absolutely just obliterate, like, okay, here we go.
But if Wemby wins the title this year, the league's on alert for the next 20. If Wemby's winning, because what it was going to this season, like the big narrative is like, hey, like let's see Wemby start to put some meaningful basketball games together. That we're so far past that at this point.
It was like a 20-some point comeback the other night. He's crying with his teammates. It's like, dude, that's
the biggest thing, and that's why I'm so high on Wemby more than anything else. Is you can't fake the level of caring. Like Wemby just really wants to be the best basketball player on the planet. When he has the tools like that already naturally, and on top of it, you have the drive. Like you can't fake that kind of drive.
And he's out here like introducing the fan base to soccer's chance that he wants to start doing.
I would love for the NBA to have ultras.
But you saw that with the drum he was working on. Like it's like, dude, this guy is in. He is bought in. He's ready to go. He's teaching the fan base how to like do a new cheer that can be their new thing to rally behind. Like, yeah, I'm all about it. So.
San Antonio, man. They got Tim Duncan had like 4 years off and then got Victor Wembanyama. Like
must be nice.
Must be nice. All right, who's balling, who's falling, our NBA version of the stock market. We always like start with the good before the bad. Justin, I'll start with you this week. Who is balling?
Well, I'm about to upset you because my ballin's going to go to Jared McCain for the OKC Thunder. He's got, and it's might have changed. I grabbed this last night, so apologies if he has new stats that kind of adjust this. But he played 12 games for them so far. He's scored at least 20 points in 3 of them. He's averaging 11.9 points in about 20 minutes per game on 47, 41, 90 shooting splits. His off-screen and mid-range jumpers and threes are looking good. He's got passion in his step again. Obviously, the injury last year kind of derailed his Rookie of the Year run for the 76ers, who traded him right before the trade deadline. With a lot of mixed, I wouldn't even say it's mixed. It's very one-sided reaction from the fan base.
It's extremely one-sided reaction. I'm very happy for Jared McCain. I'm happy that he's in Oklahoma City. I'm happy that he has his passion back. I truly wish the best for him. He did not deserve the fate he got in Philadelphia.
Nope.
The Philadelphia 76ers are unserious about winning basketball games because they're an unserious franchise. Like trading Jared McCain, like I don't want to give it, like obviously it's not the magnitude of Luka and the betrayal of Luka, but like Truly, this trade feels like a personal Luka Doncic trade to me because they just played in my face. Like, you traded a good, viable young player who was injured, who clearly had showed signs of getting better after you didn't give him consistent minutes all season for nothing to get under the salary tax. And so little billionaire Josh Harris didn't have to pay the luxury tax this year. I'm out. Just like I've said this before, I am out. I do not care about the Philadelphia 76ers. I am fully like, I'm waving the white flag. I'm good. They're not serious about winning. So why am I investing in this team as a fan? There's no reason to, because a winning team doesn't sell Jared McCain for tax savings.
Yeah.
Especially after Embiid called you out. That's what makes it even worse, is that Embiid called them out for it.
And they came out and were like, well, no, it wasn't for that. We sold high on him and we tried to blah, blah, blah. It's like, that pick you got will not be better than Jared McCain unless you hit an amazing diamond in the rough situation. Which again, at that,
we're talking about Houston making the conference finals. Like, it's going to be like 26 or 27.
Right.
Like, what are we?
Right.
I'm done. I'm out. I threw my hands. I'm out. I'm out on the Sixers. I don't care. I'm not interested in this franchise.
Nope. All that to say, still better record than the Magic. That's my Chase tracker, by the way, in case you were wondering. I make sure to tell him that every episode. I'm just saying, he was all about it, and I will.
Somehow I got mad. Somehow I got madder. I didn't know how I could get madder. Even like the other, that's what's crazy is like I can't even bandwagon Orlando because Orlando's somehow disappointing too right now. Like, I got to find somebody else.
Give it another week. Dude, honestly, if you really want to bandwagon someone now if you're gonna do it in the East, like, it's got to the only two acceptable answers for bandwagoning and to not be a full, like, you just are chasing the wins. The only two options are the Raptors and the Heat.
Dude, wait, whoa, dude. You're insane if you bandwagon the Raptors this season. And the Raptors have been a great story. I'm not even trying to slander.
But that's what I mean.
You're
is
insane if you bandwagon the Raptors this year. Where is the return there?
Well, they're fifth in the East. So I guess my point is you can't go with Cavs, Knicks, Celtics, Pistons, or you're going to look like a win chaser.
If I am fully bandwagoning and trying to chase a championship, I'm absolutely going with one of those teams. Now, where do they rank for me, Kevin Rafuse, personally? I don't know. I would want to pick Detroit, but Detroit employs Tobias Harris and has him play a role. Like, I can't go through that again. I can't. I don't have it in me. I can't root for Boston. I want the Knicks to win so I can see the victory parade in the city burn down. But I'm also like, and a lot of the Knicks are Eagles fans, so I think that's why I have a more soft spot for them. But it's hard for me in good conscience to root for a New York team openly as a Philly team.
I mean, I did put money on Boston, which is so egregious.
Yeah, that's money. That's business. Business is different. Business is different than fanhood.
So aggressive.
And they're like, I've been trash talking Cleveland all year. I can't start rooting for Cleveland now. And they're more exciting post Harden.
The Raptors are 3.5 games away from the Cavs. So why does it feel so much worse?
I'm not rooting for the Raptors, and the Cavs are playing way better post Harden. We're like, I'm not doing the Raptors. I'm not doing this version of Miami. And Miami again playing their best basketball of the year. I love Eric Spoelstra.
The Hawks are on a 5-game win streak,
which is good. They need something. I mean, they were finally above 500. Like, the Hawks have been. I would have been more bandwagony with the Hawks going into this season, but like they haven't had the breakout that I've expected. Even post Trae Young trade, they've just kind of been like meh.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. But
it would be out west if I was actually going to bandwagon a team.
Yeah. To be honest, it should be the Spurs. I mean, I know they're 46 wins, but
no, I know it's just like it just feels like that feels extra bandwagony right now. It's like,
you mean the Timberwolves then?
Yeah, I think Minnesota's never won too, so I think there's a little bit of the underdog story there too.
I feel like you a little bit could go Rockets because out of those 5, they probably are the least talked about, if that makes sense. Which is weird because KD is on the team, but I feel like the Rockets.
They're talking about KD for the wrong reasons right now.
I know, but I feel like the Rockets out of Thunder, Spurs, Timberwolves, Rockets, Nuggets. I feel like the Rockets are the least talked about.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Minnesota, I think, was off the national for a little bit too until recently.
Yeah.
And they still are. Like, I mean,
but wasn't it Doris
OKC and San Antonio are taking all the headlines in the West right now, and the Lakers for the wrong reasons.
Was it Doris Burke or somebody made a comment about Ant got hit for a push off or something like that the other day, and I think she said something along the lines like Luka gets away with that all the time, and I was like,
Oh, well,
here
they
we
do.
go.
Luka and SGA do all the time. Like, I love those
Yeah,
guys, but like, they're kind of wrong, or they're not wrong. Like, SGA got like plowed into Brunson the other night, and Brunson's borderline a free throw merchant, and it's like,
yeah,
dude, like, I'm like, yo, you're not calling that. Like, you're getting
yeah.
SGA that kind of whistle, like, you know.
Yeah,
I
well,
get it.
and her point was Ant's not getting the calls, so that's always been the feeling for the Timberwolves is like they're the ones that never get the calls. They're the ones that like they're in the mix, but they never get the national attention. So it's like Timberwolves could be feeling like a good team to root for.
Well, they're going to have that underdog. It just again, we
100%.
don't need to harp on it with the state of Minnesota sports. I feel like that would be cruel, but yeah, it hasn't been great to say the
Yeah,
least.
it
So
could
yeah,
use it.
they need a little bit of a boost there. But all right, who's falling for you this week?
Fallin for me is going to go to Dillon Brooks. The news came out the other night. He got booked. He got busted for a DUI, which ended up being pot related. So that they made him blow and then obviously didn't come back anything. So it sounds like he's not being charged. And the body cam footage came out, looked like he was cooperating with everything, but obviously not a great look, especially with the Phoenix Suns team that's a little bit in fall at the moment because of injuries. So yeah, bummer for Brooks. Don't do that. And just a falling that is definitely making some national news more than anything.
Yeah, well, right, because I think you see DUI at first, and I mean,
Yeah.
again, don't drive high. Like I'm not
Right.
backing that up either.
But you think it's drinking, you're like, oh no, dude, what are you doing? Like this is gonna be multiple suspensions and blah blah blah. But
yeah. Oh, it's like, come on. But all right. So I just realized I never did my Ballin. We went straight to your Fallin. My Ballin, I'll just say quick. I had the Knicks. The Knicks put up 142 on Denver last night. It's a big win for them. It's more of, continuing the discussion that Joe and I had last week. When the Knicks are hot, you believe in them. Like it just feels like the Knicks kind of go through these weird peaks and valleys, but like, man, the Knicks peaks make you believe. Like they really do. Like Knicks peaks look like a team that can go to the finals and complete the job this year. 142 points is a good sign for that. It's certainly a blitz there. My fallen for me this week is just an update on the tanking race, really, as we continue our Tankapalooza. Trae Young's Wizards in his debut losing a big game in the tank race to Utah the other night, which keeps them very much in the mix. So right now, currently, Sacramento leads the way, 14 wins, having one of the most ethical tanks I've ever seen. They pulled their guys out now, but man, they were trying to be good this year. That's crazy. You got Indy and Brooklyn at 15 apiece. Indy losers of 8 in a row. Brooklyn losers of 10 in a row. Obviously, Indy a little more expected with Hallie being out. Brooklyn, same sort of deal. This roster wasn't very designed to be very good. The Wizards 16, so they're right there too. And then Utah, who's really actively trying to stay down in that race, is they're at 19 wins right now, top 5. Beyond that, all the other teams that are closer out in the West, like New Orleans has 20 wins, Dallas has 21, Memphis has 23. Everybody else in the East is way ahead. Like Chicago hasn't won all month, it feels like, and they still have 26 wins. Milwaukee's got 26. It's crazy though this year, not really a tank race thing, but like the top 10 are pretty set pending anything drastic. Like there's no real shakeup. Obviously, like around the 6 and 7 mark, there could be a few here right now, but I mean, Charlotte and Atlanta both have a 5-game lead on Milwaukee right now. It doesn't feel like those two teams are going nowhere fast, or Milwaukee, I should say. It feels like Atlanta and Charlotte are playing some of their better basketball of the season right now, as we talked about a little bit earlier. Out West, I mean, there's definitely a gap. Like Phoenix has 36 wins at 7. Golden State, dealing with their injuries, has 32. The Clippers, who have been basically making up ground all season, though, the Clippers in Portland have a 7-game lead on Memphis at this point, essentially. And Portland's kind of fallen off a cliff here, but even still, it feels like they're not going to lose out of that 10 spot. I mean, they've already got 30 wins. Like Memphis has 23. I don't think there's a world where Memphis is making up that ground in the last little bit here. So
I'd be genuinely surprised if Memphis has 7 more wins in them this season.
Yeah, I don't think there's any world Memphis has 7 wins in them the rest of the season, but we shall see either way. Of course, waiting to see what officially happens with the anti-tanking rules, but that'll be a next season conversation. So, we got to tank like the tank is ending, or whatever these teams are saying right now. But all right, let's play some Immaculate Grid here real quick. I know Justin was excited when he fired this up. I think we got some new categories, so I'm excited to see what we got here.
I don't know if it's a new category. I just don't think I've done it before with Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'm not sure either way, but again, you can always watch the Immaculate Grids on YouTube. Just search Driving Dish NBA podcast. For the podcast listeners, though, our columns from left to right this week: the Celtics, the Lakers, and Hall of Fame. Our rows from top to bottom: the Wizards, the Kings, and MVP. Man, I love Immaculate Grid. I don't know if they were trolling with this, but I really love them putting like the 2 most historic franchises in the NBA, and then probably putting like 2 of the more struggling NBA franchises historically in the Wiz and the Kings like that. But all right, where are we at? Where do you want to start at? No Elfrid Payton, I think, right off the rip. Unfortunately, he did not do Hall of Fame and MVP. I hate to break it to you there, Justin.
I feel like Dennis Schroeder and or like a Rondo or a Jeff Teague would work in a few maybe here.
Yeah.
Celtics, Wizards, Celtics, Sacramento.
Yeah. Schroeder and Rondo work for both Lakers Kings and Celtics Kings.
Oh, yeah. Lakers, too. Yeah.
Yep.
So we got him to play with there.
Schroeder also does the same thing. Schroeder does not play for Washington, but he was on Sacramento this year.
I think Al Horford ended up with the Wizards for a second, right?
Did he?
I don't know. I thought so. He went Boston. He was with Philly for a second. He was with OKC.
Atlanta, Boston, Philly, OKC. Then I think he went back to Boston after OKC.
He didn't do, maybe it was Drummond. Drummond someone ended up with them in that like cluster of moves, I thought, but maybe I got it wrong.
Maybe Drummond. I'm trying to think if Drum was there.
I know. Howard was there.
Yeah, Dwight Howard, I think, is going to be the number one answer for Lakers and Wizards, honestly.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to.
Where did there was like a shooting guard or a point guard that was on the Lakers that ended up with the Wizards for a second, wasn't there?
I mean, there's a bunch of randoms that I can think of. Like Nick Young works for Wizards and Lakers.
That's who I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick Young. We kind of have to do that off the precedent, I think.
Not Otto Porter. Oh, Hachimura works for Wizards and Lakers too.
Hachimura is a good one.
There's a bunch. Yeah, Dwight's gonna be high. Russell Westbrook, we haven't mentioned. Westbrook works there.
Westbrook, shoot. Didn't no. Okay.
He'll be high.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm trying to think of any of the winners on.
Did Boogie end up with the Lakers at any point?
He did. I just don't remember if he played or not.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he played. He was on Boogie got signed, was on the Lakers team that won the title, but then he tore his Achilles and never played because that's what brought Dwight Howard out of retirement. Dwight Howard was out of the league and then rehabbed on that team and then won the championship, and that bought him the last kind of few years of his career.
Yeah.
So, all right, we got to pick one though.
Porzingis?
Porzingis works for Boston and Washington.
Wizards. Yeah, Wizards. I feel like that might be high, honestly.
I think it might too.
I mean,
Isaiah Thomas works for Boston and the Wizards.
Isaiah Thomas would be good. I feel like we kind of have to do Swaggy P.
All right, that's fine. I'm good with it.
For which one? We were doing Wizards, Lakers, right?
Swaggy? Yeah, Wizards, Lakers.
Just feel like we haven't talked about him in a while, and he was a staple of the podcast.
2%. Wow.
Yeah.
I thought he'd be higher just because he's Nick Young, but
yeah,
all right, whatever. Lakers and Kings. Well, Russell Westbrook again also works there.
Rondo.
Malik Monk works there. Rondo works there. Boogie does not.
Not Harrison Barnes. Matt Barnes. Matt Barnes was Sacramento.
Matt Barnes was definitely on the Lakers and on Sacramento. I think. No, Harrison Barnes was never on the Lakers. Harrison Barnes was definitely on the Kings. He was never on the Lakers though.
Malik Monk. He ended up in Sacramento at one point,
no, he
right?
does. Yeah, Malik Monk is in Sacramento now still.
He is still there. Okay.
He definitely works for Lakers and Kings for sure.
I feel like, well, maybe not because he's still there.
Yeah, he'll be
But
high, I
yeah.
think.
I like the idea of Barnes.
Oh, Matt Barnes?
Matt Barnes?
Yeah,
Do
I'm
you
fine
feel
with
like that'll
that.
be high? I don't know.
No, I don't think he'll be that high. Not high beyond like, he works in a
3%,
lot of
yeah.
places. Like Matt
Yeah.
Barnes is kind of an Immaculate Grid darling.
Yeah, he is.
But yeah. Okay. So Boston and Washington, again, Isaiah Thomas, Kristaps Porzingis, both good.
Did
I think they'll be high.
Kelly Olynyk, Omar Asik,
what a random difference in players.
yeah. But I'm trying to think of those. Olynyk was definitely on Boston.
Olynyk was definitely on Washington too, I think.
He went to the Heat. I think he went to Washington at some point.
I feel like he did too. I'm not 100%, but I feel like he did. Asik did. Asik was in Chicago and Houston, and I mean that was it. I think I don't really remember if he played anywhere else.
Yeah, Spencer Hawes, another one of the random.
Dude, Spencer Hawes. I know he played for Washington. I want to say.
Did he end up with the Celtics though?
No,
I don't
he
think
he played for the Kings because we got Spencer Hawes from the Kings.
Spencer Hawes, what a guy!
I don't think he played for. I don't think he played for the Celtics though.
Where did Hayward go after Boston? Did he end up doing anything with any of those two?
I don't think so.
Not Hayward. I'm not Gordon Hayward. No, yeah, Hayward.
No, yeah, Hayward was on Boston. I don't think he was in Charlotte for a little bit, and then he had that brief stint with OKC last year that didn't really work out.
And then
2 years ago.
Who was the one that was represented by the law firm now? Not Hayward. It was Chandler Parsons.
I don't think he works in any of these, honestly.
No, but I have him in the weird way that my brain works. Him and Hayward are grouped together because they kind of were big at the same time.
Yeah. I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think Al Jeff ever went to Sacramento.
Drummond never played for Boston, right? Drummond never.
No, I'm trying to remember which Morris brothers played where.
Oh, Morris.
Marcus played for Boston for sure.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if Marcus played for the Wizards at all.
Yeah.
Which I feel he might. I know Markieff did. That's kind of the problem.
The problem is I don't know which one ended up where afterward. Yeah.
They all played everywhere. That was the problem. Because Markieff was a Laker too.
Never ended up Boston.
If Keefe was a King, he was a Laker too. I know that for a fact.
Who else ended up as a King for a second? That ended up with Boston.
We could have used Keefe for Lakers and Wizards.
Oh yeah. Boston's tough.
The thing is, I can name a bunch of Boston guys. I just don't ever think they played in Washington.
Yeah.
So oh man,
you almost have to have a second degree of connection. There's a team in between them almost.
Well, it's Kemba never had a stint there.
Well, you just go Porzingis. It's going to be the highest one, though.
Who else did we have? We had Isaiah Thomas too.
Isaiah. I feel like Isaiah would be lower than Porzingis.
Oh, dude, I got it. It's disgusting, but I think who works for Boston and Washington. We've used him before, so I kind of hate it. But Chris Humphries works for Boston and Washington.
Oh, Chris Humphries does work. Did Evan Turner?
Evan Turner didn't go to Washington. Evan Turner was in Boston for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do Humphries. That's an easy one.
I feel like that's low at least, if nothing else.
Chris Humphries.
I wonder if Greg Monroe works. He's kind of an Immaculate Grid god.
All right, Sacramento. What about who was there with the Boogie years? Did any of them end up with
Boston?
Yeah.
I'm sure they did.
I mean, did we do Rondo yet? I mean, we could go. Rondo.
Oh yeah, we could do Rondo. Yeah, I mean Rondo would probably be smart at this point. I don't think Immaculate Grid darling Ish Smith was ever in Washington or in Boston. I do think Immaculate Grid Jeff Green was very much in Boston though, and he was also, I think, in Sacramento. I know he's in Washington. I just realized I'm like, oh right, I was thinking about Washington, not Sacramento. And so now I'm like, maybe actually not so fast.
Do you think, I guess,
Rondo or Schroeder? Like Schroeder's tenure in Boston is pretty like
that. Yeah. Teague might have done the same.
I don't think Teague played in Sacramento.
Yeah. Let's just go Rondo.
All right, that's fine.
He does it. He spells it that way, right?
Rondo.
R no H. I thought he had an
no
H.
H.
Oh, I thought. Oh, I thought he had a H.
I think I said this 2 weeks ago, but number one flag football quarterback in the country is Rajon Rondo.
Wow, Rondé Hollis Jefferson. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a good name.
26%.
Yeah.
Okay.
He might be one, honestly.
So,
all right, so now we're at Hall of Fame for everything else. Hall of Fame MVP. So Hall of Fame Wizards, Hall of Fame Kings, MVP Celtics, MVP Lakers, and then MVP in Hall of Fame. I mean, I'm trying to think of MVPs who aren't in the Hall of Fame. I mean, I think the only ones are recent. Like,
haven't been in there yet. Yeah. I mean, Michael Jordan would work for.
He would. Michael Jordan would work for Wizards Hall of Fame. I mean, there's a couple.
I feel like that would be weirdly high, honestly.
I do too. Michael Jordan, Dwight Howard, Oscar Robertson, Chris Webber.
I feel like Dwight Howard would be the lowest out of all those so far.
I kind of think so too. Like Dwight was recent, and obviously, like his Washington tenure was just a random year. So
yeah,
I'm fine going Dwight.
Howard. Yeah, 1%.
Yeah, 1%. Very nice. All right. Sacramento, same sort of deal with Oscar Robertson. He played for the Royals, but it'll count as that franchise. Chris Webber, we mentioned, Hall of Famer there. God, who else is Kings? I'm trying to think of like none of those international guys that were on the teams in the 2000s made Hall of Fame. And Boogie's not a Hall of Famer. I'm trying to think if they got anybody at the end of their career. Like Zach Randolph is not a Hall of Famer.
No.
None of the Gasol brothers played there.
Let's just go Weber then.
Yeah, all right, that's fine. I mean, it's probably I think it's gonna be number one, but
yeah,
it's truly like I don't know too many more, honestly. You know, back in the day, maybe like Bob McAdoo would have worked there or something like that. You want to go on it, but
yeah.
All right, Celtics MVP. I mean, Larry Bird is probably going to be one. Bill Russell won MVP. I'm certain. Did Tatum win MVP? Tatum won MVP, right?
Tatum won MVP. Did Paul Pierce?
No, he won Finals MVP.
Yeah, Finals MVP.
He didn't win MVP.
And Garnett never got it.
I don't think he got it with Boston. I don't know if he has to have it with the team. I think he might have won it with Minnesota.
Let's see. Must be one with the team. Yeah. Okay. Oh man.
God, the only ones I'm certain about. I mean, I can name a bunch of other Celtics Hall of Famers, like, you know, between Bob Cousy and like JoJo White and, you know, Casey Jones, but I don't know if any of them are winning MVP. So I mean, you tell me who do you want to have, Bill and Larry? I feel like Bill is lower, right?
Bill, Larry, or Tatum?
Bill Walton won MVP, but he didn't win it with Boston. He was on Boston. He didn't win it with Boston. He won with Portland. Yeah, I don't think KG won it with Boston. And so at that point,
I'm cool with a coin flip. Whoever you're into. I mean,
I think Bill Russell will be lower. I feel like Larry Bird is always just going to be.
Yeah. 18%.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, honestly, if you want to do Larry Bird in Hall of Fame and MVP, that works there too. I mean, there's so many options there. Yeah, I can't think. I mean, I'm sure I could find somebody that's lower, 4%. But why not? Yeah, Larry Legend fine. At 4%. All right, Lakers MVP, Kobe, Magic Johnson, Shaq.
Is there like a random one-off that
Kareem probably? Kareem won MVP for sure too. I don't did like. The only one I'd be like worried, like, or not worried about, but like, I'm sure Jerry West won MVP.
Yeah.
Elgin Baylor would be my guy too.
Elgin would be a good one.
I just don't know if he won MVP. I feel like he had to have at some point. But I'm also just like, I don't know if they'll count. Like, we should go Elgin. And I hate risking it like this. Because I know some of the awards like aren't the same back then, and that would be my only worry. But I think we should risk it.
Oh,
yeah, okay. It's not they won't count it. It's a statistical thing then. That stinks.
Yeah.
Boom. Elgin, yeah, because Elgin Baylor won. Let me Google it real quick. Yeah, Elgin Baylor won the 1962-1963 MBWA MVP, NBA MVP. So, I mean, I don't know. You tell me.
Wow. Sorry, I moved up. I moved over to. There's 22 Hall of Fame options for the Kings, which surprised me.
Really?
Yeah. Vlade.
Vince,
Webb,
dude. Vince is a good one.
JoJo White. Oh man.
Oh, I didn't even mention JoJo White. That's crazy. I would have never got the Kings. Bob Cousy, I would have never got with the Kings either. Wow, late in his career. Yeah, I mean, we mentioned. Yeah, these are all boomers. Wow.
Yeah. But still,
Lord.
surprised me
Jack
that
Twyman.
it was
Wow, dude, we're deep. Yeah, no, there are a lot there for sure, right? Like, I think you expect more of that with the Wizards.
Magic, Shaq, Kobe, Kareem. Those are the four.
Yeah, so we mentioned all of them. All right, so Elgin Baylor, that stinks, is in the year before where it counts, so that's unfortunate.
Larry, Dave Cowens.
Dave Cowens won MVP. Yeah. Okay, so that's the random one-off. Yeah, and Bob Cousy did win MVP. Okay.
Yeah.
Why did Bob Cousy wait? So why I gotta look that up because that's weird. Because Bob Cousy, it says won MVP there in 56, 57. So what did the NBA have two different MVPs one year? Because Elgin's year was like 62, I think.
Ah, interesting.
Oh no, that's good to know for Grid for the future, though. That'll be a loss I'm okay with. Like our thought process was very correct there, and we literally named all four MVPs, so I can live with that. Top answers on Immaculate Grid. Kristaps Porzingis, as we mentioned, for Celtics and Wizards. Russell Westbrook for Lakers and Wizards. Wes Unseld for Wizards Hall of Fame. Isaiah Thomas for Hornets and Celtics. Wow, that's a good one. Or Kings and Celtics, I should say. I totally forgot he started on the Kings. Like, what are we talking about? Vlade Divac for Kings and Lakers. Chris Webber for Kings and Hall of Fame. Larry Bird for Celtics and MVP. Magic Johnson for Lakers and MVP. Michael Jordan for Hall of Fame and MVP. Our grid won last time. We want to look at it. We had for the Wizards and Celtics, Chris Humphries for Wizards and Lakers, Nick Young for Wizards Hall of Fame, Dwight Howard, Rajon Rondo for Kings and Celtics, Matt Barnes for Kings and Lakers, Chris Webber, Kings Hall of Fame, Bill Russell, Celtics MVP. We missed the Lakers MVP. Weird technicality with Elgin Baylor. We'll figure that out. And then Larry Bird for MVP and Hall of Fame. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this episode of the Drive and Dish NBA podcast. Appreciate you guys as always. Leave us a review on iTunes, good or bad. We will read them on the podcast. Anywhere you can find a podcast, you can find us.
And find us on YouTube, Drive and Dish NBA. You can subscribe and you'll get notifications when new episodes are coming out.